Okay, we're heading to Lake Ouachita State Park, which is in Mountain Pine, Arkansas, which is basically Hot Springs, Arkansas. And we're on our first trip with our new 2017 3/4 ton Ram 2500 with the 6.4 HEMI. Really don't have enough miles on it yet to tell, you know, how well the fuel's going to do and all of that. That low of miles, I have about 500 miles on it. But what I'm most interested in on this first trip is at Lake Ouachita State Park. There's a pretty steep grade that goes in. It's not very long. It's maybe, I don't know, quarter mile, but it is steep as any in the state. It's not as long as some of the steep grades that we have, but my 2013 3/4 ton with the 5.7 had a little bit of trouble going up that hill, so I could in tow haul go up at about 30 miles an hour, but it would be 4,000 RPM. Of course, this truck is geared totally different. It's got a lower band, a lower RPM band, but we'll just see how it does up here in just a few minutes. It's probably 4 or 5 more miles to that. So. Okay, we're coming up on the entrance. Well, not quite the entrance, but the start of Lake Ouachita State Park, and ahead is the grade that we're gonna. I'm very excited to see how this does. I have a good feeling about it, and we're about to head up this grade right here. It doesn't look like much, but it's pretty steep. So here we go. Okay, my 5.7 at this point to maintain 30 miles an hour would be about 4,000 RPM. This 6.4 to maintain the 30 mile an hour, which I think is the speed limit up this hill, is in tow haul mode. I don't know what, 2,800 RPM, and actually speeding up a little bit. And so you can see it goes on up here. I don't know what the grade is. It's more than 7 or 8%, maybe 10%. And she's pouring like a kitten. And usually we'll about 35 miles an hour here. And 2,500 RPM. So as I expected, it is much better. And most of the way over here, I had a little patch of interstate. I went out of tow haul on the flat areas, and I was in eco mode for a lot. So I fully expect to get. I would get 8.5, 9 miles to the gallon with my other truck, and this one I'm thinking hopefully it's going to do better, because about once or twice a year we'll take a 1,000, 1,500 mile trip. This is only about 30 miles from our house. So. And coming back out of here, as you can see, this kind of grade, you go back down a little bit when you get in here. So coming back out, I've come out of here and before in the rain before, and it can be dicey. But and there's another thing I like about this. With the 5.7 transmission, it had no downshift like this one does. So this one's actually helping me down this hill with 8,000 pounds. My Windjammer. I don't know if you can see that or not back there. But yep, I think I'm gonna love this truck. It's a 373 rear end. It's got the 8-foot bed. I used to fill that bed up with gear, and had room to spare this time. 1.5 foot more bed. So anyway, that's the tell of the story here. We got another little grade coming up. And this one isn't much. The truck I had before, when we first got it, I had a 28-foot trailer that weighed about 6,500 pounds, and it snatched it around like nothing. But this one is about 2,000 pounds heavier when it's fully loaded. And there's the lake. And I'll have more video here in a few minutes of our setup and everything, if you're interested in that. But Lake Ouachita State Park. It's a beautiful spot. we're going to be in Area A, Site 13. Got to check in first, though. Here's the visitor center check-in spot. This is Area A, which has a boat ramp, which is pretty neat. Of course, you usually can't get in there in the summertime. The fishermen get there so early if you have a boat. So you don't have no, at least you can put it in and then drive your trailer back up in here. And this is January the 27th, Friday. And there's nobody out here. So, well, it was 28 last night. It's only supposed to be 30 tonight. High tomorrow, 55. And Jess, the attendant in the check-in there at the visitor center, said that they were expecting a few more people today. It looks like I'm it over here.